Today I'm here to tell you about one of the greatest things out of Glashütte, Germany. It's Glashütte Original. It is the high horology brand without the high horology price. So a brief history of Glashütte, Germany. This is a town that is founded for watchmaking. This particular company we're going to talk about today, Glashütte Original, established in 1845 in the absolute heart of German watchmaking, Glashutte. It was founded by F.A. Lange. As you guys might know, he's the Lange and Lange and Suna. Historically speaking, they had a really rough time in Glashutte. A lot of their watch companies were used in the war effort. Some became a munitions factory. Either way, end of the war, they were on the wrong side of the wall. So we didn't hear about any of these brands for going on, 40, 50 years. 1989 was the fall of the Berlin Wall. And what was amazing to me is that within 3-4 years, these companies were back in action doing watches on such a high level. It's miraculous considering this town took a pounding in World War II. The fact that when it was time, when they heard the call, they went right back to work. And it was the children of the original founders. It was the children, the grandchildren came back with the same skill levels into the same factories and making some of the best watches the world had seen up to that point. One of the things I love about watches from Germany and specifically Glashutte is there's a language to it. A lot of people associate it with, it's the Grand Maison, it's a Lange and Suna, that's the company you want to talk about. But throughout all of the companies, there is this design iconography that comes from German watches that I find very appealing. It's a three-quarter base plate. It is usually some sort of asymmetric layout. And for those of you who might be under the impression that one is copying the other, these guys were technically there before Lange and Suna. So if you're going to think that way, Lange kind of knocked off Glashutte, so get it straight. This is a town of less than 10,000 people, and the entire town exists for watchmaking. The reason there's a bicycle shop is so the watchmakers can get to work. The reason there's a bar in town is so these guys can blow off steam. And they all eat at the same dinner tables. They all talk about the same thing. So just because one works for Mille Glashutte and the other one works for Nomos, they all speak the same language, and you can see it in the watches. From across from you go, that's a German watch, and I like that. Every watch company has that one watch that I think really distills the brand, and for Glashütte Original, it is the PanoMaticLunar. The dial layout is really specific to this watch. It's a little bit asymmetric, but in a real isosceles triangle kind of way. You have your timekeeping elements on one side, you have your moonphase and your grand date. Now, a lot of watches in Germany have this grand date. It was really where it was invented. It has something to do with the Opera House in Dresden. But what I really dig here, they solved the riddle of getting both of those numbers on the same plane. Everybody else, it's a little bit discordant. One's a little bit behind the other. Some people will frame it out to get rid of the jarringness of that, but these guys got them both on the same plane. Neat trick, hard to do. 40 millimeter case, you're looking at 12.7 millimeter stick. So it's a little thicker than some, but there's a lot going on in there, so I don't mind it at all. It has an in-house caliber 90-02. This is a 42-hour power reserve beating at 4 hertz. Micro rotor design for full view of the movement. You can have it on leather. You can have it on bracelet. They do it in rose gold. They do it in stainless steel. Some absolutely beautiful dials. I do think that silvery white one kind of distills the watch into what it's supposed to be. Another thing that's really iconic with the Glashütte Original, not only the finishing of the movement, it's a double swan neck regulator, which not everybody uses, and it may be a little bit misunderstood. One side is for the beat rate. The other side is for the symmetry. So you can really fine tune the timekeeping of the watch better than anybody else. For you guys who aren't aware, we have founded and we're having our second annual Watch Week Aspen up in Aspen, Colorado. We have the Omega Boutique up there as well as an Oliver Smith. It is from August 7th through the 10th. It's free to go. You just got to get yourself to Aspen. If you're looking for more information, it's watchweekaspen.com. Please register. We need a head count. Hope to see you there. Overarchingly, what I really dig here, this is a watch guy's watch. Probably not your first watch. If you start here, good on you. You've done your homework, but you're pretty far down the rabbit hole. Let's start getting to German watches even. But this is one of those watches where, and I've talked about this pretty publicly, I almost think they could charge more and that they don't. And it's one of those weird situations where I don't want to sell this to you as a value proposition because I don't think it is. I think the horological bang for the buck is immense with this brand, but it makes me wonder, how are other brands charging what they're choosing to charge and giving you this? If these guys can do it, so should they or could they? So something to think about it as you're kind of navigating your watch culture. The watch wears perfectly. I have about a 7.25-inch wrist, fits me absolutely perfectly. A little thick, still slides under a sleeve, no problem at all. If you dress for work, a perfect watch for you. If you don't, a perfect watch for you. That's where the attachments come into play, the different metals. I think this watch is a lot more versatile than some people are willing to give it credit for. And it's not something that everybody's aware of. And I really like that. You can choose to be the guy who wants everybody to know your watch, or you can choose to be the guy who teaches other people about watches. And I think this is for the latter. Feel free to comment below. Let me know which one's your favorite. And out of curiosity, I love doing these little reviews for you guys. So if there's something you want me to talk about, if there's a brand you're interested in, please comment below. I'd love to hear from each and every one of you. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.